What's up, y'all? This your boy Mike. This is Mike on Money. Today I'm gonna be talking about buying a car. I personally know I bought multiple cars. I've also sold cars for 3 years, and most people get robbed. Before you buy a car, you want to do your research. It's been so many times that I've sold cars to people that they just knew they needed a car. They just came into the dealership. They initially said, okay, I want to be around 250 a month and leave paying $500 a month. That's buying a car without a game plan. But after this video, you're going to have a game plan when you go into the car lot. So when you're going into the car lot, you definitely want to do your research. If you have a trade-in, you want to go on Kelley Blue Book and see what the car is worth. Check the trade-in worth, but also check in the cash value worth. The cash value worth on the car will always be more than the trade-in, so you never want to trade in your car at the car dealership. You want to get rid of the car before you go to the car dealership. For example, if you go to CarMax, CarMax will actually give you a price quote for your car. They'll do an assessment, they'll let you know how much they will buy your car for. That is going to be more than what a trade-in value would be. So CarMax can buy your car from you. If you still have a loan on the car, whatever the loan is will be deducted from the amount of cash that they give you. But you can then use that trade-in value, that money, as a down payment instead of just trading it in and getting a smaller amount. You can also sell it privately. Post a car on Craigslist, post some nice pictures of it, and sell it privately. Selling the car is always worth more than trading it. So get rid of your trade-in before bringing it to the car dealership. Another reason why you don't want to bring your trade-in to the car dealership is because you price the car high and your trade-in low. So that way, if you're focused on one thing, I've had people that have taken really well maintenance of their car, oil change when it needed. I mean, the car was perfect condition, and that was their trigger. They didn't really care much about the price of the car, but they really wanted a great value on their trade-in because they took good care of that car. Decreasing the price of the car a little bit, because the first number they show you, you can always buy it for less. The first number they show you is not the number that you buy the car for. You can always buy it for less. CarMax does sell their cars. And that's why I don't buy cars at CarMax. CarMax does sell their cars without negotiation. The price is the price. But most car lots will have room for negotiation. So they focus on your pinpoint. If you really care about your trade-in and you're passionate about it, they will decrease the value of the car a little bit that's already increased. The value of your vehicle a little higher. So it's just a game they play to even it out. So it's best to just get rid of your trade before even going. If you don't have a trade, you're gonna definitely need money down. The lower your credit score is the more money you're gonna need down. Credit scores in the low 600 to 500 area, they may even have to do what they call special finance. Special finance is when you have to bring in bank stubs, 3 months paycheck, and it's really the bank, they feel like they're taking a risk by giving you a loan, so they collect additional information from you to make sure that, okay, you are paying bills regularly and you get a paycheck regularly. In that case, I'll give you the loan. But I'll give you the loan with a higher interest rate. So your credit is important. Now, if you need a car immediately and your credit isn't perfect, you got to get a car. But you may want to get a cash car. Now, when it comes to getting cash cars, you can buy a cash car off of Craigslist. You can buy a cash car from an auction. My recommendation, if you're buying a cash car from Craigslist or for sale sign with someone's car on the side of the road, my recommendation for that is to not give them any money unless you ran a Carfax on that car, you've driven it, and you've had a mechanic take a look at it. A professional mechanic, not your Uncle John. Take it to a professional mechanic. Now, usually the test drive, if there's a problem with the car, you may not notice that right away, but you're buying it from a non-reputable resource, so it's risking that. It's risking that anyway. Another way you could buy cash cars is from the auction. The auction is actually where the cars buy their cars from, so you're getting it without any price increase. It's just the value of the car. But in order to buy a car from the auction, you need an auction license. Instead of getting an auction license, you can probably find someone, probably online or ask around. Someone may have, or even if you know someone that works at a car dealership, you can ask them if they know someone that has an auction license and they can purchase that car for you or with you. There are ways to buy a car with no money down, but you have to have excellent credit. Remember selling cars, the average down payment on a car was probably 2 to 3,000. Now that depends. If your credit is great, you'll require less. If you have a trade-in, you'll require less. But credit is lower and you don't have money down and you don't have a trade-in, it's harder for you to get approved for the loan. Usually the reputable dealer, they also have buy here, pay here. You could probably buy the car with a check engine light on. A reputable dealer, they may also have dealership warranty. I don't know, bumper to bumper for 30 days. Gives you comfort of if something goes wrong, you can always bring it back to them within a 30-day period. Okay, so you know where you're gonna buy your car from, and you also done your research. When you go to the dealership, this is the harder part. This is where your emotions get involved. This is where the sales aspect comes in. Go to the dealership, you go for the car that you're looking for specifically. You've done your research, you know what you're going for. Go for that car specifically. If that car is not there, look for an alternative close to what you want. Looking for a car for $14,000 and they show you something for $20,000, don't drive it. Don't drive it. You're gonna like the $20,000 car more than you like the $14 car. It's playing on your emotions. I've seen 1,000 times where people say, I want $250 a month, no matter what. You take them on a test drive, you send them into the finance office, and they come out spending $500. The test drive will make you pay more money than you want to. So maintain a focus on your goal. This is your time to focus on the car. Focus on how the car is driving. Listen for any sounds, any dents, any scratches. Anything that doesn't meet your criteria of what you want in a car, make sure that you take note of that. Tell them that I don't want to buy this car without original floor mats. That's something that they may be able to throw in there. But if you're like, I won't buy this car without the door being replaced, and they do throw it in there, that means that there is room on the price of the car, and you probably should negotiate the price a little further when it's time for negotiation. During the test drive, the salesman may be doing a lot of talking. He may be trying to get closer to you, more familiar with you, or even go over features of the car. Usually during a test drive, I like to tune out the salesman. I'm not even listening to the salesman during a test drive, unless there's a feature that he's talking about that I care about. But if he's talking about traffic and bringing his kids to school after work, I'm not interested. I'm only listening to how the car sounds, how the car feels, anything involving the driving of the car. Before and or after the test drive, I'll open the hood while the car is running, listen to the engine, make sure it sounds right. If you have any question or doubt, it may be for a good reason, and a car is a big purchase. You don't want to make any risks. Outside of your own assessment, you can also tell them that, okay, I will buy this car today, but I have to take it to my mechanic, and once they do their assessment, I'll bring the car back and sign the paperwork. Remember that car dealerships are based off of sales. If you have to go and pick your kids up, they will drive you in that car to pick your kids up. They may even take you, you say, if you have your kids with you and you say, my kids are hungry, they will tell you to take that car to McDonald's. It's painting a picture. You're getting a feeling of driving your kids in this car to McDonald's. You need to leave if you're not interested in the car or anything the dealership has to offer. Be honest. I'm not interested in what y'all have to offer, so I'm leaving. If you come up with an excuse, they will overcome that objection. That's their goal as a salesman, is to overcome objection. I need to go pick up my kids. Okay, we'll pick it up in this car, and then you guys come back afterwards. They're getting hungry, we have to leave. Okay, well, I'll order something for that. I'll order something. I'll have another salesman pick it up. You take your new car to go pick it up and then come back and fill out the paperwork. You come back from the test drive, that's a lot of times where, okay, they will ask you, do you like this car? Do you like it enough to make a deal today? And if you say yes, then that's their goal, to start discussing price. Now, the price of the car, you've done your research, you know the Kelley Blue Book, you have an idea. And if that's not the car that you went to the dealership for, pull up a Kelley Blue Book on your phone, get an idea of the value of the vehicle. When you're talking about price, like I said, if you have a trade-in, they're gonna price your trade-in low and price their car high. CarMax, they don't have any negotiating. The price of the car is the price of the car. When you're negotiating price, this part is it's a little annoying but necessary. You want to negotiate price. You want to go significantly lower than what you think it is. The car is $18,000, and you say, "Oh, I really want it to be around 13." If it's that significant of a difference, they'll show you a completely new car. But if you wanted to be around 13 and the car is 16, they continue to talk to you about the price of the car, it's because they probably can do that deal most out of the sale. Salesmen work off a commission, and so do sales managers. So the sales manager is the one that determines the price, and the salesman is kind of just the runner between the sales manager and the customer. The manager is the one that really knows the price of the car. Negotiating price, and you can't get through to the salesman. A lot of the times they'll have a sales manager come in. That's who really has the control over the price of the car, but they also are more of an experienced salesman than the salesman. So usually you don't want to make a deal on the car unless the sales manager is involved. Who are negotiating back and forth, and you get to a point where you tell them, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna leave. I'm leaving. If they allow you to leave, you know that there was no way you were gonna buy that car at what you wanted. But if they are fighting for you to stay, then that means there is more room, and that is something that they can do better. So I recommend every time you are looking to buy a car, once you get to the point where you feel like you're ready to buy it, tell them you're leaving. Okay, we can't come to common grounds. I'm leaving. I'm leaving makes them, okay, let me give you the best that I can give you. And at that point, you know you probably can't buy that car any less than what they're offering at that point. I wouldn't recommend saying that you're leaving as soon as you get the price. I would do a little bit of haggling, negotiate with them a little bit, but to leave at the end is what's going to really make your negotiating successful. So after you decide on the price of the car, you're going to go to the finance office to speak with the finance manager. The finance manager is the one that discusses monthly payment. They're the ones that have the relationship with the bank. Now in the finance office, this is also where you can identify if you paid too much for the car or not. For instance, if the finance manager is telling you that they're going to include dent and scratch warranty and commission that the salesman gained on the front end and reversing it over to themselves on the back end. So if they're throwing in warranties, That means that you didn't buy the car at the cheapest price that you could. In addition, in the finance office that I recommend for everyone, especially if you are paying for a car about $7,000 or more, is gap insurance. Is insurance on the loan and not on the car. So if you get in a car accident and it's a total loss, you still have to pay loan on the car, even though you don't have the car anymore. So gap insurance, I strongly recommend for everybody. You get your gap insurance, so you get your monthly payment included with the gap insurance. Then at that point, you will need insurance. You may have an insurance company already, but I recommend for you to go on Jerry at this point. Jerry is an app where if you type in your information and the vehicle's information, it'll give you a quote across all insurance companies. If your insurance is too high at that point, you will need car insurance. So I recommend just finding the cheapest car insurance that you can find on Jerry. And then if you're not happy with that car insurance, you can always cancel car insurance at any time. The Jerry app will also cancel your previous car insurance for you. So I recommend the Jerry app. You will need car insurance at that time in order to get your tag. Once they verify your car insurance and give you your tag, you're now free to drive off the lot. So that's it, y'all. Don't get robbed when you get to the car lot. Mike the Money Motivator. I post videos like this every week. Make sure you like and subscribe.